Hi, hello, and welcome back to F1 Challenge Career Mode. My name is Mephisto, and today we're heading up to Monaco for round 7 of the 2000 Formula 1 season. And before we begin, I'd like to apologize for last week's video, in which the screen went blank in a few locations. I'm still not entirely sure what exactly happened, but my guess would be either the editing software did something while rendering, or something went wrong while uploading. I'm really sorry for that, and I will try to make sure it won't happen again. With that said, let's get started.
Located within the urban setting of Monte Carlo, the claustrophobic Monaco street circuit is essentially a never-ending sequence of hairpin turns and chicanes with no margin for error. Whilst the jewel in Formula One's crown makes for a truly glamorous sponsor-friendly spectacle, it is very much an anachronism in today's safety-orientated era.
So, here we are in Monaco, ready to begin our qualifying run. And I almost forgot to press the record button. This is going off to a great start, isn't it? Anyway, let's see how we perform in quali. Coming around for the first qualifying lap, as always, I was slow. As such, we crossed the line with a time of 1 minute 29.319 seconds, placing us in 19th for the moment. But now, coming around for our second qualifying lap towards the end of the session, I felt that I was quite a bit faster. And so we crossed the line with a time of 1 minute 26.011 seconds, placing us in 16th for the moment. However, with just 10 seconds left in the session, Lacey managed to pull a lap time of nearly 1/10 of a second faster than us, and so we are bumped down into 17th. That is still our best qualifying thus far in the season. See you on the grid.
Hello there. Welcome to Monte Carlo for round 7 of the 2000 FIA Formula One World Championship. The weather, as so often is the case here, is just wonderful. Hakkinen first. Schumacher second. Button third. Coulthard fourth. Jacques Villeneuve fifth. Verstappen sixth. Nick Heidfeld seventh. Giancarlo Fisichella consistently outpaced his championship rival. He starts eighth. Barrichello ninth. Alexander Wurz 10th. Irvine was consistently faster than his teammate. He starts 11th. Jarno Trulli 12th. Ricardo Zonta 13th. Mika Salo 14th. Pedro Diniz 15th. Jean Alesi 16th. The Jaguar driver 17th. Pedro de la Rosa 18th. Heinz-Harald Frentzen 19th. Schumacher 20th. Marc Genet 21st. Mazzacane 22nd.
Here we are on the grid, and as I said, Lacey managed to pull a faster lap than us, so we start from 17th. And we're off. Another slow start on my part, but that's okay, because the name of the game today will be caution. Remembering what happened last season, I'm sure we will do just fine if we do not push as hard, as we nearly come to a standstill for turn 1. Anyway, let's have another look at the start and the incident. Here we have the start of the race. Everything goes smoothly at first. We even managed to get in front of Jean Alesi, but as we come into Saint-Devote, Verstappen and Villeneuve make contact. We are now riding with Jos Verstappen, ahead is the BAR of Jacques Villeneuve, and there to the right is Heidfeld trying to squeeze past. Anyway, as we exit the hairpin, we are chasing down Gaston Mazzacane, hoping to find some room to get around him. And we bump into him. Fortunately, it was at slow speed, so we don't lose anything. But we have to make sure that doesn't happen too often, because otherwise we might just end up out of the race. And that's something very easy to do on this track. But as we come through this slow chicane, Lacey manages to overtake us on the outside. So we are now back to P17. but I don't mind. I'd much rather see myself all the way to the end of the race than do something stupid. Knowing the AI on this track, I'm pretty sure I won't even have to try to gain positions. That's not to say that I won't try, but I will be a bit more careful than usual. Anyway, Lacey seems to be pulling a gap now. He is about 2 seconds ahead, with Denise just zero point 0.5 of a second behind us. So that is the end of the first lap. Let us see what we can do from here. Also, what the AI will do from here. That is going to be a determining factor for our final position at the end of the race, and Marc Genet loses his rear wing. We are now riding with Genet, looking back at his rear wing, and as he's coming through turn 1, he taps the wall on his right, our left, then he smashes the rear of his car into the tire wall and breaks his wing. So that's one less car to worry about, as we are still chasing down Sean Alesi. And as we come around the corner before the tunnel, Alesi smashes into the barrier, losing his wing. And we fly right past him through the tunnel as there is more carnage on the track. And we haven't seen the end of it yet. Just as I expected, this is going to be a race of attrition. And there are even more incidents here on lap 2 of this race. Okay, so let's have a look. First we have Jean Alesi. He hits the tire wall, losing his rear wing and allowing us to get ahead of him. Next we have Giancarlo Fisichella. He comes through the slow chicane at the end of the tunnel, hits the wall to his right, Schumacher scrapes the nose of his car, then his teammate Bert hits him and breaks off his front wing. We are now looking at our teammate Eddie Irvine with the two Benettons and the Jordan of Jarno Trulli in front. He does the same mistake as Fisichella, so does Trulli, and that makes two more cars out of the race. So we move up into P13 without even having to pass other cars, and there is yet another accident. Here is the Williams of Ralf Schumacher, and as he exits Saint-Devote, he slams into the wall and loses both his wings. That will move us up even further on the field. And another incident. This is absolutely insane. If it goes on like this, I will end up having to do a crash compilation instead of a proper Formula 1 Grand Prix video. So, here we have the Scotsman doing the same thing as Fisichella, Trulli, and Irvine before him. He then accelerates into the barrier that was Nick Heidfeld passing through. Then Verstappen hits the rear of the McLaren, breaking its rear wing. With that, Coulthard is out of the race, and in the background we can see Barrichello spinning his car. After Barrichello's spin, Zonta has hit him, but I'm not going to show every single incident, otherwise we will be here all day. Though I am going to sum up the retirement shortly. In the meantime, we are on lap 4 as Button is hit by Michael Schumacher. At least, it is a change from the AI hitting the walls. Anyway, here is a replay of what happened. It looks like Button went too close to the wall, spun his car, and as a result Schumacher has hit him. Yeah, that corner is dangerous for the AI it seems, as I am now pulling ever closer to Gaston Mazzacane. Let's see if we can pass him. Nope. He squeezes me too much and I have to lift the throttle, and he also cuts the track, the bastard. And here we have Button with his failing engine. He comes through Raskas and stops his car. And it looked like Heidfeld, who was trying to get around the Williams, has hit the wall. And there is Heidfeld just to our left. There's still a lot going on the track it seems. But we finally passed Mazzacane. So let's see some replays. Here is Ricardo Zonta coming through Raskas, then through Anthony Noyer, and hits Heidfeld, who is trying to turn his car around. And now we have the arrows of Pedro de la Rosa, which is in flames. So that's the end for him. But we have now caught up to Ricardo Zonta, who is missing his front wing, and we'll try to get around him. And we're through. And up in P5, and I failed to brake in time, almost hitting the wall there. That was scary. Let's not do that again. We've now caught up to the Sauber of Mika Salo, and we'll try to overtake him as soon as the opportunity shows itself. But Michael Schumacher makes a mistake. This does not look good for the German. So here we have Michael Schumacher going through the corner just before the tunnel, slams into the tire wall and loses both his wings. This really doesn't look good for him. This is the second race in a row in which he retires, so this will put a lot of pressure on him. And as we are coming into pit at the end of lap 9, let's have a review of the retirement thus far. Michael Schumacher is out, so is Heidfeld, so is Verstappen, De La Rosa, Burt, Button, Villeneuve, Ralf Schumacher, Barrichello, Coulthard, Genet, Alesi, teammate Eddie Irvine, and Trulli. So that leaves only 8 cars in the race out of the 24 starters. And let us not forget that most of the retirements happened in the first 4 laps. Yeah, I guess that says a lot about the AI and this track. Nevertheless, we still need to finish the race and we are quite far away from the checkered flag. So, as we were pitting, Mazzacane managed to climb back in front of us, and Heinz-Harald Frentzen has an accident. When will this ever end? This is insane and hilarious, all at the same time. Here is Frentzen. He goes wide through Saint-Devote, slams into the barrier and loses his rear wing. But back to our race, we are still chasing Mazzacane and we are close enough to try and go for a pass. And we fly right past him through Saint-Devote, one of the very few overtaking opportunities on this track. Well, you can try anywhere really, but this is a safer place to overtake. So we are back up into 5th and chasing down Diniz on lap 13, as I slam into the wall on the exit of that corner, and that broke my rear wing. And we even go for a spin as there's absolutely no grip on the rear of the car. Damn it, we need to stop again. Okay, let Hakkinen go through. Here is a replay of my mistake, just goes to show that even the slightest lapse in concentration on this track can be punishing. And there I am spinning around like a top. Well, that will put us out of the points unless someone else retires until the end of the race. So now I have to be careful not to damage the car even further whilst I try to nurse it back to the pits. But this will put us at a disadvantage since there are only a few more laps remaining. I'm not retiring, I don't want to quit, I do want to see the race through to the end. But unfortunately, I don't think we will score any points today. And with such a bad season we had so far, this is simply demoralizing. So, we are now coming in to fit another rear wing to the car. But considering how long this takes, we are going to fall way behind the other cars. Almost to the point where we could just give up, but we won't. And I skipped ahead a bit there, since there is no reason to look at basically nothing for 40 odd seconds. So let us see if we can do anything at all from here. I doubt it, but I'm still hopeful. So now we are coming around to finish the race, and I was catching Mazzacane by around 3 seconds per lap, but there was simply not enough time to do much more. And as such we only finished 7th, just outside the point, which is a bit frustrating. Anyway, here are the finishers and the retirements, a stupid amount of DNFs, in fact only Button and De La Rosa retired due to mechanical failure. Anyway, it's time to wrap things up and move on. Next time, we will be in Canada where I am hoping to do a bit better than today. But for now, let's look at the standings.
At the end of an unbelievable Monaco Grand Prix, here are the final results. Mika Hakkinen, first. Giancarlo Fisichella, second. Sarlo, third. Diniz, fourth. Zonta, fifth. Mazzacane, sixth. The Jaguar driver, seventh. With the results confirmed, it's high time we updated the Drivers' Championship. Mika Hakkinen takes over the lead in the Drivers' Championship.
So, Hakkinen is now leaving the Drivers' Championship with 40 points, just 3 points ahead of Michael Schumacher, who is in second with 37 points. Coulthard maintains his third place with 20 points. Behind him in fourth is Button with 18 points. Fisichella moves up into fifth, position which he shares with Jos Verstappen, both with 9 points. In sixth, we have Barrichello, teammate Eddie Irvine and Heidfeld with 7 points. Villeneuve and Ralf Schumacher share 7th with 5 points, and now joining them is Mika Salo. We are still in 8th with 3 points, and joining us is Pedro Diniz. Frentzen, Vert and Zonta, who scored his first 2 points, are in 9th, and moving up into 10th is Gaston Mazzacane, who scores his first point.
McLaren increase their lead at the top of the Constructors' Championship. Ferrari are second, whilst third place is held by Williams.
Moving on to the Constructors' Championship, we have McLaren, who increased their lead to 60 points, now 16 points ahead of second place Ferrari with 44 points. Williams are still in third with their 23 points. Benetton move up into fourth with 11 points, bumping us down into fifth with 10 points and Arrows into sixth with 9 points. Sauber move up into seventh with 8 points, BAR move up into eighth with 7 points, joining them are Prost. Jordan drop into ninth with 2 points, and Minardi score 1 point, moving them up into 10th. As such, all teams now have at least 1 point to their name. Well, that's pretty much it for today. Not a very impressive race from us. If only I would have been a bit more careful there towards the end, we could have scored some points, but no, I had to go and mess things up. Don't get me wrong, 7th is a pretty darn good place, but if I would have been concentrating a bit more, we could have ended up with points today. Anyway, join me next time when we'll be heading up to Canada for round 8 of the season, which is a track at which I generally do well, but we'll have to wait and see how things turn out. I will also make sure that this time I don't upload the video before checking if it's good to go, just to see whether it was a problem on my end or if the black screen was due to YouTube's encoding algorithm. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, stay sharp.